Hey everybody, today I'm going to be teaching you how to play Sex on Guitar by Eden. So check it out, let's get started. Alrighty, so as always, the song is going to be in standard tuning. We're going to use a lot of bar chords today, so I've got a couple variations for those if they become hard to play. But let's kick it off with the intro. It's going to start with just a regular A chord, index finger on the second fret, second fret, second fret. Simple chord. It says, and I said, what's up? What you been thinking? 'Cause you've been staring at that roof so long, I swear it's come alive. It's the only thing you do there, just an A chord. And when he says 9 words, he plays a D. So that's going to be second fret of the G string, third fret of the B string, and then the second fret of the E string. She spoke 9 words and I was sinking, but I can't find it in myself to wanna lie. So when he says lie, he plays another D. Now, this is where we're gonna start using bar chords. So you can play this D as a bar chord up here. So it's gonna be on the 5th fret of the A string, and then the 7th fret of the next 3 strings down. So you can play it like this, or you can play it like this. Or what I like to do, index finger on the 5th fret, ring finger on the 7th fret, and then the next string I mute with my ring finger, the G string. And then I use my pinky on the B string. So it doesn't require me to hold all those strings down. It doesn't sound too much different. So throughout this tutorial, you're going to see me playing bar chords like this. Just keep in mind you can play it any way you like. So 5 and 7. Won't lie to keep this thing. And on thing, he slides this same structure up 2 frets to the 7, 9, 9. Thing from going down. So I can't lie to keep this thing from going down. Now, when he says down, we're going to go up to an F sharp minor. So you're going to slide again up 2 frets. Keep your index finger and your ring finger in the same place. Your pinky's going to lift off, and you're going to put your middle finger on the 10th fret of the B string. So it's going to be the 9th fret, the 11th fret, and then the 10th fret. And that's going to be an F sharp minor. So when I like to think of this part when he says going down, because this is the part when we start to go down the scale. So he says, but I can't find it in, so won't lie to keep this thing from going down. F sharp minor, and then he goes back down to the E, because that girl told my, all right? So we're essentially just going up, and then we're going to start going back down. Now after the E, he plays a D sharp, and this is sort of a complicated chord to play. Your index finger is going to slide down to the 6th fret. Your pinky's going to go onto the 9th fret of the D string. Your ring finger is going to go on the 8th fret of the G string, and your middle finger is going to go on the 7th fret of the B string. Sorry, I can't even see it. So it's going to sound like this. And that's a D sharp. That's going to take you a little while to get. And then after the D sharp, we simply slide down to a D, which is a chord that we started on. So those 4 chords slide down and then repeat. So let's play it slow. But I can't find it in myself to wanna D, lie to keep this E thing from going down. F sharp minor. E. 'Cause that girl took my D sharp. D. And I want it back. When he says back, you go back up to the F sharp minor. No, E. I'm laying down my D sharp cards. D. So that whole intro part, that part just repeats itself there twice. All right. Now, for the pre-chorus, you're going to keep your fingers where it is, and you're going to play another D. And he goes, 'cause you said it meant nothing, and I should have kept my silence, but I guess I'm too attached. Back up to the F sharp minor. Too attached to my own pride to let you know. E. All those words meant D, nothing. And I've always been this heartless, and we're just having F sharp minor sex. No, I would never call it love. E. So the reason why I went through that so quickly is because you can see it just repeats. It's a D, and then up to an F sharp minor, and then down to an E. So these are pretty simple patterns. Check the link in the description, and it will have all the chords there, so you can check it out. And if you get confused as to how they go, you can follow along with that link. So D, F sharp minor, E. That's the entirety of the pre-chorus. So into the chorus, he says, "Oh no." So we have a little bit of a variation here. He goes down to a C sharp minor before he plays the D. So he says, "Oh no." So a C sharp minor is going to be on the 4th fret of the A, the 6th fret of the D, and the 5th fret of the B string with your middle finger there. So he says, "Oh no," kind of a quick change. "Oh no, I think I'm catching feelings, and I," up to the F sharp minor, "don't know," down to the E. "This is empathy if you're just..." So the idea behind the chorus is going from the minor up to the major. So C sharp minor to D, and then up to the F sharp minor to the E. Sympathy I feel, just C sharp minor, hold on, D. Repeats itself. And then this is where it gets pretty complicated. And he says, "Remember why you said this was the last time." Yeah, he goes into that little run. So when he says last time, I'm just going to play it for you really quickly so you can understand it, and then we'll go through it slower. "Remember what you said, this was the last time." And that's the end of the pre-chorus. So he says, "Remember what you said, this was the..." On the last, he plays an E, 7-9-9. After 2 strums, he slides up to the F sharp minor, and then keeping the same structure, he slides down to the C sharp minor, and once again, keeping the same structure again, slides down 2 more frets to play a B minor. And this is the last note before the chorus. So once again, it's E, F sharp minor, C sharp minor, B minor. And then if you'd like to, he puts this little bit, it's an A, a couple A strums before the chorus begins. You can play it down here on your regular A if you want. But what he does is he goes up to the 12th fret and the 14th fret. So this is still an A. All right. So that goes, "Remember what you said, this was the last time." A. Really slowly now. "Remember what you said, this was the last time." All right. Repeat that section if you need to. And now we go into the next part of the chorus. He says, "Whoa, oh, 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 oh. So this is just like the pre-chorus. It's going to be a D, and then up to an F sharp minor, and then to an E. And that repeats twice for the end of this chorus bit, the sort of chanting bit. It goes, oh, 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 yeah, F sharp minor, no, oh, 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 oh. So I guess it's, whoa, oh, 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 yeah, no, oh, 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 let it die and live. Okay, those three chords. Chords that you already know, so it shouldn't be too difficult. And so for the second verse, it's going to be the same as the intro again. And he says, what's good? It's just an A strum. What's good when both choices of God have us staring down the barrel to the bullets I can't stop, and so I D. Stand off like indecisions, Kevlar, till this fear of feeling stops, and I'm done with you. When he says with you, he goes to the E, with you. And then we go into the bridge. So it's a little bit different from the first verse. Let's play it again. A, and what's good when both choices of God have us staring down the barrel to the bullets I can't stop, and so I D. Stand off like indecisions, Kevlar, till this fear of feeling stops, and I'm done with E, with you. Alrighty, so the last part of this track that I'm going to teach you is the bridge, because the next chorus and then the outro are all the same. The outro is the same as the intro. So in the bridge, it starts off with he says, till this fear of feeling stops, and now I'm E, done with you. Goes up to an F sharp minor. He says, no, I don't know how, E, to forget you, D. No, I don't know how to back up to the E, get you, F sharp minor. No, I don't know how, E, to forget you. No, I don't know how to forget you. All right, so it just goes, starts up at the F sharp minor, goes down and up twice. Once again, follow along with the chords link below. It'll make much more sense. And then as he keeps repeating that, it goes back up to the F sharp minor again, down to the E, cause that girl took my, and then we go to that D sharp again, just like the ending of the first verse. D. And I don't want it back. F sharp minor. No. E. A bulletproof free. D sharp. Star. D. So we're seeing the same three chords repeat here, except for the ending where we just add in the D sharp. Okay, so it's confusing because there's a lot of chord changes, but you'll be able to get it quickly because there's not that many chords that are being played. So after the bridge, we go back into the chorus, and I'm just gonna play out the rest of the song for you, but keep in mind the chorus and the outro is the same as intro, and it just repeats, so. Oh no, I think I'm catching feelings, and I don't know if this is empathy, if you'll just hold on. Remember what you said, this was the last time. No, oh, 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 yeah. No, oh, 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 oh. So I guess it's whoa, oh, 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 yeah. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Die to let it live. And the outro is just the A. No, I don't know how to forget you. No, I don't know how to forget you. D. No, I don't know how to forget you. No, I don't know how to forget you. Ends on that D. All right. So, as always, try to go through as quickly as possible, but still be pretty descriptive so you can understand it. Mainly bar chords. Please check out the link in the description for clarification. And I hope you enjoy learning this song. It is definitely by far my favorite Eden track he's ever put out. So you can hold me to that. All right, guys, have a good weekend, and I'll see you next week.